from Bombay to Nairobi in Kenya by an Air India 707 jet. Hundreds of devotees packed the airport in Nairobi, waiting to catch a glimpse of Swami on his arrival. Swami's biographer Kasturi records that as the doors of the aircraft opened, sounds of bhajans could be heard from the distance. On alighting from the aircraft, Swami was whisked away to the spot just outside the airport where bhajan singers were eagerly awaiting the Lord. Devotees tend to describe Baba's visit to Africa as a foreign tour, but Swami says that he merely went to the house of a devotee, Dr. Patel. Only this particular devotee's house happened to be in Kampala, the capital of Uganda. It was about noon local time when Swami landed in Nairobi. From there, he straightaway proceeded by road to Kampala, about 600 kilometers away. When the divine party reached Dr. Patel's house, it was 1:30 in the morning. Yet there were people gathered there waiting for Swami. Next morning, Swami was up as usual, fresh as a rose. For Bhagwan Baba, darshan was the most important engagement, and he obliged as often as he could. However, the host felt that he would be failing in his duty if he did not take Swami for sightseeing. Thus it was that Baba visited the Baha'i temple in Kampala. Temples and buildings one can see everywhere, but what about the wildlife that Africa is famous for? The host Dr. Patel made sure that Swami did not miss the African safari. Swami flew to where the animals roamed, free from interference from man. And there in the wilderness of Africa, Swami played the role of a tourist to perfection, even peering occasionally through binoculars. Swami was also taken to a place called the Hippo Pool, where these huge animals took the weight off their feet by immersing themselves in water. The hippos had not studied physics, but knew how to use the Archimedes principle to advantage, long before the Greek philosopher discovered it. The highlight of the African safari was a 25-kilometer boat ride up the famous Nile River. Having satisfied his host, Swami now returned to the task of showering ananda or bliss on devotees through darshan. So happy was Swami in Africa that in an unusual gesture, he celebrated Guru Purnima in Kampala instead of in Prashanti Nilayam as is the usual custom. Finally, on 14th July, Swami flew out of Uganda from the Entebbe airport to Nairobi. In Nairobi, Baba transferred to an Air India Boeing and travelled to Bombay via Aden. Thus ended Swami's only trip across the oceans.
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।